And I think we're gonna have to test print a few labels to see if it works. Oh my god. As for me, I'm very happy with how the label turned out. I don't have space to store stuff and I have a lot of stuff. It's just really nice and it has a good drape, and yeah, it's so fun solving so many problems all the time. Hey guys, welcome back to studio vlog number 2. It has been a really busy week and there's just been so much that I've had to get done. It's also, again, so hot in Bangalore and everybody's like struggling right now. I'm sitting here filming without the fan because if I switch it on, it's gonna make so much noise. But yeah, it's just been a really chaotic week and I thought I would just tell you guys what's been up. Over the past week, we have been looking for vendors and suppliers for the packaging for all of the garments. And apart from that, it's just been a lot of video editing, video filming, and just content creation. So that's been keeping me really busy and very occupied. Also some fun news. I got my shipping label printer and I'm gonna open this a little bit later on in the video so I can kind of show you guys. And I think we're gonna have to test print a few labels to see if it works. But before I get started on the rest of this video, I was going through my gallery and I found a bunch of videos that I filmed back in October when we were still looking for our manufacturer. So my dad and I went manufacturer hunting, and like I mentioned, it was pretty tricky to find a manufacturer because like you have to speak to so many of them to find a manufacturer who you think you can work well with and who agrees to work with you. And so that was a little bit tricky, but we did end up finding a manufacturer, and I actually have footage from the day that we did find the manufacturer. So I'm gonna roll those clips here. It is Monday. This is day 1 of searching for the perfect clothing manufacturer for the business. After a really long drive, we reached our destination. We are here. We did hunt for clothing manufacturers almost the entire day, and that included a lot of just cold calls and just kind of knocking on doors and asking people like, hey, like this is what we have, this is what we're looking for, can you do this, yes or no? And after a lot of back and forth, after speaking to so many people, fingers crossed, we did find the perfect manufacturer, but there are still details that we have to, clarify and just make sure that everything is set and that they've understood everything, that we've understood everything. And yeah, there's definitely still a lot left to be done, but we spoke to maybe about like 7-8 different manufacturers, and the reality is that sometimes it can take so much more than this, that sometimes even speaking to these many manufacturers isn't enough, and sometimes the process can be like so long and so isolating because you go to so many of these manufacturers and maybe they appreciate the idea that you're looking into, but there's something that they just can't compromise on. Either it's the MOQ, they're looking for a really high MOQ, or it's just not the kind of fabrics that they use to stitch normally, or it's just styles that they're not familiar with. And each manufacturer differs so much, and so it was definitely a little bit of a challenge, but it's been a good day, it's been a productive day. So it's also been a really long day, so we're looking forward to just winding down, and fingers crossed, again, everything works out perfectly with the manufacturer. She's just been tired, and it's like really hot where we are, so yeah, the heat and the lack of sleep and everything is catching up to me right now. I didn't have the energy to film in the morning, but I didn't want to end the day without filming. So yes, we are ending today on a positive note, and we're hopefully gonna chill for the rest of the evening. Might get something to drink, and either we're gonna order room service for dinner or go explore the city side and see what we can find. I hope you enjoyed watching that. Looking back now, honestly, I do wish I could go back and give myself like a hug because I was stressed out. I was so nervous about whether or not we'd be able to find a manufacturer, especially because we had to travel quite a far distance to go speak to so many of them. But we did end up finding a manufacturer that day, and I am so proud of that girl for pushing through, and she did a really good job. Also, I know that it's like crazy bright right now. There's so much light coming in from the windows, but so I thought I would take you guys through a little bit of the journey selecting fabrics for the business and what it was like. Fabric R&D or fabric research and development in general takes a lot of time, and I wish that this was something that I had spoken to someone about earlier. I didn't know, honestly, because when I started sourcing fabrics, I felt like the first 5 fabrics and I was like, oh yeah, for sure I found the fabric I want to use. That's not how it went. We went through like at least 30 different fabrics that we had to analyze and do a little bit of research upon to find the fabrics that I was going to end up using for my garments. So yeah, that took up some time, but I thought I would show you guys some of the samples and just talk you guys through how I sourced a lot of these fabrics. But I will be sitting on the floor for this section of the video because there's a lot of fabric and I don't want to be holding it up.
Okay, in my hand, I've got a big bag filled with fabric samples that I ordered from fabric manufacturers and fabric vendors. And this took me a couple of months, honestly, to get done because I was also exploring the market for the first time. And knitted garments is just something that I didn't have much expertise in before I started this brand. So it took me a while to find some fabric suppliers that were selling knitted fabrics, and then once I was able to find them, I called them and I was like, hey, like I'm looking to make these kind of garments. Do you have this sort of fabric? And then they either give me a yes or a no. And if they said yes, then usually what you can do is you can request a sample. So I asked them if they could send me either a fabric catalog, or if they didn't have a fabric catalog, if they could just cut out a small swatch and then just ship that to me. And I'm just going to take out some of the fabric swatches and show you guys quickly what some of the swatches or what the fabric catalogs look like. Okay, so here's an example of a little fabric catalog that one of my fabric suppliers sent me, and they included just a ton of different fabric. Not all of these are knitted fabric, some of them are woven, but it was the most helpful thing. So while I was looking through this, I found a fabric that particularly caught my eye, and it was this gorgeous black stretch fabric. And this was a 92% polyester, 8% spandex mix that I loved so much. So when I spoke to the supplier, I was like, hey, like I'm gonna need this for my collection. Is this gonna be available in the month of so and so? And they were like, yeah, it's definitely gonna be there. You can come and pick it up whenever you're ready to start production. So I go to the fabric manufacturer and I ask them, hey, remember you said that this was gonna be available? They were like, no, actually about that, this fabric is not gonna come back in stock for the next 3 months. 3 months. And I was like, I cannot wait 3 months for production. That's way too long. And so we had to reroute and quickly find another fabric that we ended up using for the collection, and it's turned out great. I'm actually really happy with the fabric that we chose. It's way better than this one. But that was a roadblock that I was not expecting and that we had to encounter. So yeah, it's so fun solving so many problems all the time. But anyway, here are a bunch of other fabric swatches that I was able to source, and I just think that so many of these are so nice. Like, if you find a fabric from these swatches that you really like, the next thing that you can do is ask for a slightly higher quantity. So you can order maybe like 10 meters or 5 kilos of fabric and ask them to ship it to you so that you can get the samples made from the fabric. That's what I did personally, or you can have it shipped to your manufacturer directly so they can make the samples. Also, just before we move on, this is a shade card filled with swatches, well, really tiny swatches of fabrics of many different types and of different colors. So I just thought this would be really fun to show you guys. So if you want to know what kind of colors the manufacturer can manufacture these fabrics in, this is very helpful. Now, when it came to finding the fabrics that I wanted to use for my brand, I came down to these 2 swatches. So my fabric manufacturer gave me 2 swatches of fabrics that were kind of similar, but I'll tell you the difference. This red color fabric, very pretty, very nice. It has a really nice hand feel, but it still felt really like leggingy, and it just felt like the kind of fabric that you would use for leggings and didn't have all the properties that I was looking for. But I just felt like this fabric was not going to feel as good because a lot of the garments I'm making are going to be skin fit. And I just didn't think that this was going to have that good of a feel on the skin. And so I passed on this. He gave me a swatch of this fabric, which was just the loveliest fabric. It's so soft, so smooth, and it has excellent stretch. It's so comfortable. The hand feel is just so lovely, and it was exactly what I was looking for. So I got really lucky. And this is a really nice 240 GSM fabric. The best part about this is the white fabric is not see-through, so that's such a win. This is a sample of the white fabric, and it is not see-through. It actually does really well when you wear it against the body or when you hold it against light. So I'm really happy about that. I think that's something that a lot of women struggle with. They don't buy white garments because a lot of white garments are just transparent and see-through. And so a lot of women just opt out of buying white clothes. Hopefully this changes that. Once you've got your fabric sorted, you need to move on to some of the other elements or details of your garments. For example, does your garment have buttons or zips? All of these fall under what we call garment trims. And so if you're looking for trims, that's also really important that you select good quality trims for all of the garments. So I thought I'd show you guys the trims that we decided upon for our garments. It is so hot here. I need to like down a glass of ice water. I also feel like I'm melting away in real time. It is so hot right now. Okay, so here's one of the metal adjusters that we conveniently dropped it, that we decided to use for our garments. And this is a metal loop that you'll commonly find in camisoles and adjustable tops because they pass the strap through this loop, so it just helps you adjust them. And one of the best parts about this trim is that, again, it's made of metal. Here's an example of a loop made in plastic. The reason that I didn't want to use a plastic loop is because they can snap and break if too much tension is applied, and the area where the straps are on a garment experience a high amount of tension, so I wanted to make sure that we use really durable and good quality trims, so we decided on metal ones. And also, something I didn't know is that these metal adjusters only come in the color, that's the plastic one, these metal adjusters only come in the color white, and so you have to get them dyed according to the color that you want. And because we're only doing black and white garments, I had to get half of them dyed black. So that was very interesting. And hopefully if this is something that you guys are planning to do, then you learn from whatever I had to learn from. This is a strap adjuster. So similar to the metal loop, these are also metal strap adjusters, and you can use them to adjust the strap of your garment and they will not snap under pressure. So I'm very happy about those. Also, if you're wondering what 5 kgs of fabric looks like, I'm gonna show you. But for that, I'm gonna have to lift you guys up because it is a huge amount of fabric. Don't know if I can do it sitting down. Okay. I'm gonna show you guys what 5 kilos of fabric looks like when you order it from the fabric manufacturer. Here it is in all its glory. No, it didn't come packaged like a big dumpling. It actually came in a really nice cylindrical roll, but I had to take it apart. Okay, here we go. I don't have space to store stuff and I have a lot of stuff. This is just a really nice white fabric that I had ordered before I decided on the current fabric. But it's just really nice and it has a good drape, and hopefully if this comes back in stock, then I can use it for my next collection. Otherwise, just tough luck. But this was just a really nice fabric that I had picked out. And I used that to make a lot of the samples. Here is some of the black fabric that we didn't end up choosing for a multitude of reasons. Again, this fabric was really nice, but it is so see-through, you guys. Yeah, this is one of the reasons why we didn't end up picking this fabric. You can quite literally see right through it, and even though it feels really nice and it's smooth and stretchy, maybe we could use this fabric for another design, but this was just not going to work for the fabrics I wanted. If I'm going to be making skin fit garments, I don't want them to be see-through, but yeah, this was one of the black fabrics that I had ordered. So ordering fabrics in bulk also really helps because you get to see how the fabric feels on a much larger surface area as compared to like a really small swatch. You don't get a very good idea of how the fabric is going to feel like on your skin or against you with a really tiny swatch. So 100% I always recommend ordering a slightly larger quantity of fabric before you start producing your garments with that fabric. Okay, and that brings me to the end of my TED Talk. I get to show you guys the printer now and unbox it. Okay, here is our shipping label printer, and it is from a brand called Hellet. I've never ordered a shipping label printer before, so this is a first for me. I thought we could unbox it together. Inside the box, we've got the instruction manual, and they've also included a few free shipping labels that we can use to test out the printer, which is great because I've not bought the shipping labels yet. Just ordered the printer. And here is the printer. It's so cute. It's quite small. Definitely not as big as the real printer. This is a thermal printer, by the way, so it doesn't use any ink. It's just going to use heat to print out stuff on the labels, which is great because you won't have to keep refilling the ink. And yeah, it's cute. It's really compact and it'll fit pretty seamlessly into like my packaging station. Here is the open. Oh, here's the open button, and I guess this is, yeah, so we put the labels in here and then we can use these size adjusters to adjust the size of the label. I did watch the demo, there was like a demo video for this, so I did check that beforehand. And what else is in the box? Okay, we have a connecting cable. I guess this goes into the laptop, and then this one is plugged directly into the power outlet. So that's great. Yeah, I think that's about it. I think we should test out the label printer. It does say on here that if we hold the print button, I think, for 3 seconds, it'll print a self-test page. So I think we should just try printing out a self-test page. Yeah, let's do it. Okay, here is our shipping label printer, and it is from a brand called Hellet. I've never ordered a shipping label printer before, so this is a first for me. I thought we could unbox it together. Inside the box, we've got the instruction manual, and they've also included a few free shipping labels that we can use to test out the printer, which is great because I've not bought the shipping labels yet. Just ordered the printer, and here is the printer. It's so cute. It's quite small. Definitely not as big as the real printer. This is a thermal printer, by the way, so it doesn't use any ink. It's just going to use heat to print out stuff on the labels, which is great because you won't have to keep refilling the ink. And yeah, it's cute. It's really compact, and it'll fit pretty seamlessly into like my packaging station. Here is the here's the open button, and I guess this is, yeah, so we put the labels in here, and then we can use these size adjusters to adjust the size of the label. I did watch the demo. There was like a demo video for this, so I did check that beforehand. And what else is in the box? Okay, we have a connecting cable. I guess this goes into the laptop, and then this one is plugged directly into the power outlet. So that's great. Yeah, I think that's about it. I think we should test out the label printer. It does say on here that if we hold the print button, I think, for 3 seconds, it'll print a self-test page. So I think we should just try printing out a self-test page. Yeah, let's do it. Okay, I just fed it that paper, and it kind of immediately, I also installed the driver lol. It immediately aligned the paper, so that was great. Need to figure out how to print a test page now. Okay, I'm gonna go back here to see if we can print test page. Oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. Okay, it worked, it worked. It worked, it printed the test page. This is amazing. I actually print tested 2 labels. This one I just downloaded from the internet, so I just wanted to see if it was going to work on a regular label. And then the first page was just to let me know that I've installed the printer correctly. So I'm really happy. It's such a cute printer, and it's done such a great job. That's such a big relief. Okay, it worked, and I was successfully able to print test a label. Hello, and reporting to you guys live from the studio again. In this vlog, there's something I quickly want to show you guys. If any of you are planning to start your own clothing brand, or if this is just something that interests you, something that's really important that you should know about is the wash care label. Now, the wash care label is essentially a label that is stitched onto the left side of your garment, and if you lift up whatever t-shirt or sweater or anything that you're wearing right now, you should be able to see your wash care label. The reason that the wash care label is so important is because it tells you exactly how you need to care for your garment, and what kind of wash you need to put it through, and how you need to dry it, and just how to care for the material so the fabric in the garment doesn't wear out. And I thought I would show you guys a really fun hack that I used to create the wash care label. Okay, here's the PDF that I made with the wash care label along with its dimensions. And this is essentially what we had printed on the wash care label. And after I made the wash care label on Canva, I printed it out on the same dimension paper, folded it in half. Yeah, so it gave me the perfect idea of what my wash care label is going to look like inside my garment. So it was a great way to just like make a mock sample of a wash care label if you're not sure how it's going to look, or if you want to check the spacing or the fonts. This is just great. It worked really well for me, and my wash care label looks exactly like this. So I'm going to show you guys how my wash care label turned out. It's so cute. I'm really happy with it. And here you guys can see the wash care label says 94% polyester, 6% elastane. I've written down all of the instructions, and of course made in India with a cute little heart. Here's the difference between the paper label. Again, please ignore the print is completely chopped. I am so sorry about that. But the difference between the paper label and the satin label, there is almost no difference. So it's just such a great way to get an idea or understanding of what your wash care label is going to look like inside your garment. So yeah, I just thought I would show you guys how I went about doing that in case it was helpful for anyone else. But as for me, I'm very happy with how the label turned out. We've used the loveliest, the softest satin material, so it's not gonna irritate your skin and it's not gonna itch or prick or tickle. You're gonna pretty much forget that the label's even there. So yeah, 100% very pleased with that. And as always, if you guys enjoyed this vlog, thank you so much for watching. Please feel free to hit the like and subscribe button, share the video if you would like, and I appreciate it so much. Thank you for watching. Mwah. Love you. I'll see you next time.